Hey, what's up everybody? BDF 44 coming at you in another video. Alright, so I'm doing a little therapy session in. We've been talking a lot of basketball lately, been enjoying the heck out of that. But yeah, I just wanted to get out of the unit, the hotel room, and just walk around, man. It was really heavy in there for me for some reason. I just do not have the greatest of spirits, and I'm not really sure why that is. Well, I am, but you know, it's just a lot of things combining to make my situation a bit more frustrating. And so I figured getting some fresh air would kind of do me some good instead of laying around that apartment. I just got through having a meal, so I'm definitely not hungry. Meal was great. Hopefully my body can react better to that than it did the eggs, because the eggs, no. The eggs was bad. The egg salad, no. It didn't taste good and it didn't react well, so figured I'd probably just go down to the train station, catch it. Maybe just go down there and turn around. I don't know. But I did want to get out of the house. It's already 1 o'clock, so it's a little later than I normally would in a day like today. But yeah, man. I honestly don't know what to say. It's just one of those situations where I had a dream last night that I had gotten into it with my ex-girlfriend's date, whoever that was. We ended up in a shootout. We didn't even get the punching or none of that. We skipped all that and just started shooting at each other in a restaurant. I don't know how. I know I started it. I know it was my demons that we were fighting. She was having a fine date with that individual, and I came up there tripping. Truly. And it was one of those situations where I found myself realizing in the dream that there are things I need to work out. It's not even about me actually having that in me to do something like that, but it was something along the lines of just being possessive of others and thinking I was entitled to someone's time. Of course, lately it's been, of course, Kay. I'll tell y'all about Kay. She kind of is going through whatever it is that would make her silent right now. And you know how I feel about that. We talked about that. I ain't going to get into that, but what the dream helped me understand was, while I'm feeling like I'm not getting what I should be getting, there's also some things in me that's not what should be pointed at anyone else. It's like I got to get some things right in myself. There's some bridges here that the enemy can cross, so to speak, that would allow for me to feel as down as I've been feeling and allow him to kind of lift me up to tear me down. Same energy I've been receiving from the GR situation where I told you guys they had rejected me, but initially about 4 months ago showed me or told me, you know, DPSS, that I could get it so they could take care of my finances between the time that I was waiting for it and the time that I was waiting for SSI, which ain't coming until like January. They'll give me some confirmation of approval or denial. And I just found myself realizing that the enemy's using Kate in the same way. Last time I spoke to her, she told me she was going to call me back. Never did, and I ain't heard from her since, really. She kind of reacted to something that I had posted, so I know she's okay. But, you know, it had me thinking about different things. Like, okay, this is what the enemy's doing to me in a lot of different areas. You know, setting me up to let me down. It's not just one thing, it's several things. Same thing with the phone situation. Not quite going the way it was supposed to. Even though they're sitting here offering you a free phone and offering you free services, I sign up for those services and I have all kinds of stuff that ultimately turns into me not having what they're offering. So it's like setting me up to let me down. It's just like I'm dealing with a lot of that in different areas. And it comes down to the choices that I make that allow for that to be possible. Now, I think that's what the dream was helping me understand. It's like, yeah, you're being led up you're being set up to let down. But you're also doing things in these various arenas, or choosing things in this various way, or setting yourself up to kind of be let down by choosing to think otherwise, you know what I mean, in different situations, however it's going. So it's like, that's what I'm kind of learning in the midst of this dream. It was like, yeah, I was going through it. And I don't know how I came to that conclusion based on that dream. But I woke up at 3 a.m, and I tell y'all the truth, man. I started praying. And the Lord put it in my heart to have this concept where it's time to start burning these bridges that the enemy can cross. and letting the Lord to kind of help you do that. Whether it be getting rid of certain things or focusing on getting things right in your life, whatever the case may be, these are the bridges from bad decision making or poor expectations that ultimately allow for that. So that's really what's been on my heart, is just trying to get that right. You know, with certain things that I was keeping that would still be a bridge, pictures and stuff that I should have long deleted, you know, circumstances that don't align with who it is that I ultimately am trying to be. You say you're gonna get rid of lust, well, you got to get rid of stuff that's attached to that lust. Pictures of people that, you know, girls send you pictures and stuff like that. Stuff that should have long been deleted, that I no longer have any use for if I claim to be somebody who's pointed at one woman. It's like, no, there's some hypocrisy there. And within that hypocrisy, the enemy's able to cross that bridge over to walk over to where you at. You got to cut off those various different things so that there is no bridge for that enemy to cross over and let you down or set you up or let you down or whatever. And so that's what came to mind last night. It's like, yeah, I'm not liking how things are going, but don't be fooled by the fact that there are things you can do that can make it so that those things aren't happening anymore. You know what I mean? And so that's what it was for me. It's like, all right, I'm coming to that conclusion. How do I set myself up the right way instead of setting myself up the wrong way? How can I choose to not look for certain things in certain directions or to have these certain disadvantages that come from poor decision making? And that's what it really comes down to. Poor decision making made it so that I didn't have or that I did need a government phone. If I had certain other things in place, there wouldn't be no need for a government phone. Bad decisions and bad expectations, believing that certain things were going to happen instead of setting up myself to make sure that the worst of those consequences didn't come. Like, you know, having AMC, yes, I love AMC. I'm glad I have those shares. But if I don't have any income or any information that can show me where I can get the income that would help me, of course you're going to wait until you get evicted and then find yourself with the worst of consequences based on that eviction. But that eviction don't ever have to take place if you're looking up things leading up to that, or helping yourself leading up to that, or doing just even at the bare minimum that I wasn't doing leading up to that, so that things would never get this bad. You know, there were rental assistance programs, grant programs I could have invested in or found ways of getting them to invest in me. It's a lot of stuff I could have looked into that wouldn't have been in the red, so to speak. But because of my laziness or my belief that AMC was going to save me from everything, I left myself no room for things to not go wrong if the impossible didn't occur. So it's like that is a process that I created with bad decision making. That's something I let happen. And because of it, I'm in an arena where I can be let up to be let down. You know what I mean? Set up to be let down or whatever. So it's like, how do I create the environment for myself that doesn't allow for these things to even be possible? That's what I'm trying to figure out. That's what I'm trying to ask the Lord to help me with. And the answer that came to me was, well, you got to do what you're doing now. Come to the Lord. Because the only reason why you even had that idea is because you prayed before you went to sleep. And as soon as you woke up out of that dream that gave you the notion that you had some things you need to work on, you prayed when you got to that. This is how you do it. The same way I've been telling y'all to do it. It's what the Lord is essentially helping me understand I need to do more of. Come to me in the morning. Come to me in the daytime. Come to me in the evening. And I will give you the meditative mindset that allow you to be at peace with what it is that'll help you. And then from there, I will open up even more doors in regards to your understanding, so that you can have not only an understanding that things are not going the way you want them to and you want them to be fixed, but also show you that it's you that needs to be fixed within those circumstances, so that you don't have these questions to ask the Lord. It's like, yes, double time the Lord helped me through that meditative space. Because not only am I sitting here saying, Lord, could you help me with these circumstances, but I'm also finding that he can help me make it so that these circumstances ain't even possible. And so that's really what it is. It was like, while I'm sitting here heavy over the fact that all these things are setting me up to let me down, or somebody who's proven themselves to be just like this the whole time I've known her, I'm still expecting her to do things differently. It's like, no, bro, no. That is something that you allowed yourself to believe somebody's going to be something different just because you put it in your heart that you wanted them to be different, just because you made it up in your mind that AMC was going to come save you, just because you made it up in your mind that you didn't need to look certain things up. Therefore, you were in a position to be let down. Therefore, you were in a position to not or receive the information or what have you. It's like, this is where it starts. As I always tell you guys, start at the root of your issue. Start at the root. Start at the root. Because when somebody is in a position to be let down and circumstances don't seem to be going right in their life, a good portion of the time, there were things they could have done to assure that that was not possible. But because of the cloak in their mind and their eyes being as they are, seeing only what it is they want to see versus what it is that's truly going on, you're going to find yourself disappointed. And where there's no need for disappointment. There's never any need for disappointment. So that's what I'm here to say, man. I just understand that a little better than I ever did, because of the fact that God helped me have that meditation space to not even be in those positions. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. I'm going to end this getting on the bus, and I'll start another one later. BDF 44.